Let me tell you something you probably already feel in your gut: scarcity creates value. This isn't just some psychological trick, it's a universal truth. Think about it: why is gold more valuable than sand? Well, both exist on this planet, but one is rare while the other is everywhere. When you're constantly available, constantly texting, calling, chasing, and begging, you become the sand. Readily accessible, predictable. But the moment you pull back, the moment you disappear, your presence transforms into something rare. That's when she starts noticing your absence. Scarcity forces reflection. When you step away, you create a void. And here's the thing: human nature abhors a vacuum. People are wired to notice when something that used to be there suddenly isn't. Women, like men, are no exception to this. When you're constantly in someone's life, they don't have the time or space to process how much you contribute. You're just there. But when you're gone, that's when the wheels start turning. She'll start asking herself, why hasn't he called? What's he doing? Has he moved on? Did I misjudge him? Your absence triggers curiosity, and curiosity quickly transforms into longing. Because here's the kicker: people only appreciate value when they feel the potential for loss. The comfort of predictability is your enemy. You know what happens when you're always accessible? You become predictable, and predictability is boring. It's comfortable, yes, but it doesn't ignite passion. Passion thrives on uncertainty and mystery. At the moment you disappear, you introduce a new dynamic: unpredictability. And that's what keeps people hooked. When you stop being the guy who always answers, who always shows up, who always chases, you disrupt her narrative. Suddenly, you're no longer under control. You shifted the power dynamic. Absence as a tool of respect. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about respect, self-respect first and foremost. By stepping away, you're saying, I value myself enough to walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't reciprocate the same energy. That message is powerful. It's not said with words, it's communicated through action, and actions always speak louder. When a woman sees that you're not willing to beg for her time, it forces her to evaluate your worth. Now she has to ask herself if she's been undervaluing you. And trust me, people hate the idea of losing something valuable due to their own oversight. Scarcity amplifies desire. Here's another truth: when something becomes scarce, it automatically becomes more desirable. This is why luxury brands limit their stock, why exclusive clubs have long waiting lists. Scarcity makes people crave what they can't easily have. When you make yourself scarce, you're doing the same thing. You're signaling that your time, your attention, your energy are not freely given, they are earned. And when something is earned, it's respected. Practical application of absence. Now, this isn't an excuse to ghost people or disappear in a way that lacks integrity. The key here is intentional absence. Pull back with purpose. If you've been overextending yourself, always being the one to initiate, stop. Let the silence speak for itself. Use this time to focus on yourself. Hit the gym. Start that business you've been procrastinating on. Hang out with friends who energize you. In short, live a life that you're proud of, with or without her. This not only makes you more attractive, but it also shifts your focus from seeking external validation to creating internal fulfillment. And what happens next? Here's the beautiful part: when you create that space, she'll feel it. The silence becomes deafening. She'll start to notice all the ways you added value to her life, ways she might have overlooked when you were always there. She'll feel your absence in her routines, in her day-to-day life. And that's when the texts start coming in, the calls, the sudden, hey, I was just thinking about you messages. But by the time she reaches out, you've already leveled up. You've reclaimed your time, your energy, and your sense of self. You're no longer the same man who was waiting by the phone. Closing statement. Let me leave you with this: your value is not determined by how much you chase or how available you make yourself. Your value is determined by the standards you set for your own life and the energy you bring to the table. So stop begging, stop chasing, step back, and let your absence do the work. Because when you respect yourself enough to walk away, you force others to respect you too. And when they return, they'll come back with a newfound appreciation, ready to meet you at the level you've risen to. Now it's time to elevate your game. Stop tolerating disrespect, stop seeking validation, and start living in a way that commands the respect you deserve. The rest will fall into place. Back to psychological shift, why emotional control matters. Let's get straight to the point. Control over your emotions is the ultimate form of power. And I'm not talking about bottling things up or pretending to be unbothered. No, I'm talking about genuine mastery. The kind where you don't let anyone else dictate how you feel, how you think, or how you act. Here's the truth: most people are walking around like puppets. Their strings being pulled by external forces, validation, rejection, attention, you name it. They're reactive. And you know what happens to reactive people. And they lose every single time. When you're constantly chasing validation, constantly seeking approval, you're handing over the keys to your emotional stability. You're saying, here, take this, you decide if I'm happy or miserable. That's not power, that's weakness. And weakness never commands respect. The power dynamics of emotional control. Here's the deal: when you're calm, composed, and in control, you instantly shift the power dynamics in your favor. Why? Because people respect those who don't crumble under pressure. I think about the most influential figures throughout history. Were they emotional wrecks, running around begging for attention, or did they exude a sense of calm authority? The answer is obvious. Emotional control is the bedrock of leadership. And if you want respect in relationships and business and life, you need to master it. When you stop reacting, you become a mystery. People can't figure you out, and that intrigues them. It makes them second guess their actions and words around you. This isn't manipulation, it's commanding respect by setting an example of how you expect to be treated. Why chasing validation weakens you. Let's break this down further. When you chase validation, whether it's from women, friends, or society, you're essentially saying, your opinion of me matters more than my own, and that's the fastest way to lose self-respect. Imagine this: you send a text, and you're sitting there staring at your phone, waiting for a response. Every second that passes, your anxiety builds. You're thinking, did I say the right thing? Should I have sent that? You're giving away your power bit by bit over something you can't control. Now flip the script. Imagine you send the text, put your phone down, and get on with your life. Maybe you hit the gym, work on your goals, or spend time with people who energize you. You're unbothered. That's the energy that commands respect. When you're not seeking validation, you're operating from a place of abundance, not scarcity. You're saying, I'm good with or without your approval, and that confidence. That's magnetic. Emotional control is a magnet. Here's the paradox: when you stop seeking validation, you actually get more of it. People are drawn to those who don't need their approval. Why? Because it shows strength. It shows independence. And it shows that you have a life outside of them. Women, especially, respect a man who's in control of his emotions. They notice when you're not fazed by their tests or mind games. They notice when you're not chasing them, begging for their time or attention. And that composure makes you stand out. Let me be clear, this doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you become intentional. You choose where to invest your energy and emotions. You don't let anyone take you off your path. You're on the path to mastery. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I get there? The answer is simple, but not easy: discipline. Focus on yourself first, build a life you're proud of. When your life is full, your fitness, finances, and purpose all in alignment, you won't feel the need to seek validation. Respond. Don't react the next time someone tries to provoke you. Pause. Take a deep breath and decide how you want to respond. This one habit can change everything. Set boundaries. Emotional control starts with knowing what you will and won't tolerate. Don't be afraid to walk away from situations or people that drain you. Embrace the silence. Silence is powerful. It's in the moments of no contact, of not reacting, that you create space for respect to grow. What happens when you stop chasing validation? Here's the best part: when you master your emotions, you become unshakable. People notice that they can't manipulate you, can't guilt trip you, can't control you. And that's when they start respecting you. Women, friends, even colleagues will see the shift. They'll realize that you're not the same person who is desperate for their approval. You're someone who values himself, someone who doesn't bend to external pressures. And that kind of strength is rare. Closing statement. Let me leave you with this: your emotions are your responsibility, no one else's. When you take control of them, you take control of your life. You stop being a puppet and start becoming the master of your own destiny. So stop chasing, stop seeking, start owning your power. Because the moment you do, you'll notice a shift, not just in how people treat you, but in how you see yourself. And that's the real game changer. Key point 3, the power of self-respect: why you should never beg or chase. There's a critical truth every man must understand: if you don't respect yourself, no one else will.